my name is Eddie C, and welcome to My Positive Podcast. I'll bring you positive stories of people from all walks of life, because everyone has a story to tell.
Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to MPP, My Positive Podcast. I'm your host, Eddie C, and this is episode number 9, and we'll be talking about compassion. First of all, ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for the people who texted me and sent me all kind of messages for my birthday last week. Yes, I hit that number 65. I might be 65, but I'm still young and alive, as they say. I had a wonderful time, a wonderful week. I hope you did as well. I've got, once again, 3 very special guests for you. My first guest is originally from Armenia and came to Holland as a little boy and became a Green Beret, an entrepreneur, and is busy with the music for many years. My other guest is a young lady who is sort of slowly becoming an entrepreneur herself with a health lifestyle. She has her own YouTube channel. She's a business student. And my third guest is actually into hip-hop. He's a rapper, but at the same time, he's busy to try to bring a message over to what's going on around the world, what's happening in the history of the world. He's aiming his style towards the youth as well as towards the adults. If you're interested in their stories, stay tuned and stay positive.
My name is Eddie C, and you're listening to My Positive Podcast.
Well, my next guest is a very special guy. He's originally from Greece, but now living in Holland for many years, which is how we met. Director of his company called House of Events, the singer-songwriter, also the founder of Social Coffee, which he'll probably tell us a little bit more about in a little while. He's a former head entertainer in Dubai. He has also had a travel agency. And he's actually an ex-Green Beret. So quite a versatile career this man has had. Please welcome my first guest, Mr. Aristakes Jessayan. Did I say that right, buddy?
Hi, thank you, Eddie. Thank you for the pronunciation.
All right.
Yes, you are right. I did a few things and different things. Well, let's start the day that I was born, the 30th of April, 1953, in Athens, in Greece. And there's a nice story. We came in Holland with my Armenian parents. So my parents are Armenians.
Okay.
And I have an older brother and a younger sister. We came in Holland on the 26th of April in 1956. And when we came in Holland in Schiphol Airport, Amsterdam Airport, there was a community of the Red Cross, a fugitive organization, United Nations organization, something like that, because we are Armenians. So a lot of Armenians went to Greece, to America, to France. Charles Aznavour is an Armenian as well. The Kardashians in Los Angeles are Armenian. Cher, the singer, Sherilyn Sarkisian is her name. And all these Armenian names, mostly the end ends on Yan. My name is Jessayan. My mother was Hovanesyan. Charles Aznavour, he was Aznavourian. Well, anyway. So we came in Holland on the 26th of April. I was 2 years still. And all the children, because we were with a lot of families, Armenian families, and all the children, they get a little present. And they didn't give me anything, but they called my name. So my father took me on his arm and went to the man with the microphone. And the man said, "Okay, sir, this is your son, Aristakes Jessayan." I don't know if this man pronounced it good, but anyway. Okay, and they give me a present as well. But around the present, there was an orange, strip.
An orange bow.
Yeah, because the 30th of April, it was the birthday of Koningin Juliana, Queen Juliana, in that time. So my birthday was together with her.
Right.
So this was my first meeting with Holland, with the Netherlands. It's a nice anecdote to tell. Well, anyway, we went to the city of Amersfoort.
All right.
There I grew up. And after us, there came 4 guys, 4 boys in our family. So we were with 7 children, 1 girl, 6 boys.
Okay.
When I was about 8 years, I started with piano lessons. I came from school, and all for a sudden, I saw a piano in our living room. I said, "Oh, what's this?" And I started with 2 fingers. And in the evening, I played, I don't know which song, but I played an Armenian song.
Okay.
Well, anyway. I started with music on a music school, piano lessons. But everything what I play, I cannot read notes anymore. I forgot it. I cannot read. And I didn't like it. All this notes. Oh, man. Because when I play from feeling, from inside. I don't need these papers in front of me. I just play what I feel at that moment. So I'm a very improvising musician. I feel what I play at the moment,
Sure.
After I had to go, you mentioned it already, I had to go to my military services. And I went to the Special Air Services, Green Berets.
Sure.
And I was like a nail, so small. And I said, I go to the Green Berets. Whoa. My whole family was laughing after me. And well, anyway, I reached it. And I was a sergeant and I became a Green Beret. And I para also jumping, Special Air Services. So after that, I started to be a professional musician. I changed my city. I went from Amersfoort to Arnhem, near the German border. And I started there. Just in bars, in little cafes where there was a piano, I started to play. I didn't have a repertoire, nothing, but I just did it. I just started it. And now I do that for 46, 47 years already. Well, I had some records. I started a travel agency. I never studied for travels or something. I just started in a little city, Hoevelaken. On the main road, there was a shop, was empty. I started there. And I started my second one in Scherpenzeel. And then after 6.5 years, I sold these travel agencies, and everyone said to me, Aristakes, you're crazy. You are going so well with the business. I said, I know. But everyone is at the moment on email, on internet. They go booking a hotel or booking a car, whatever. And so I just sold my two travel agencies. A few months later, 9/11.
Right.
Wow, man. It was lucky. Well, anyway, I have pension now at the moment. I'm 68 years young. I'm young. Still, but anyway, and I was at home. I was playing piano the whole day. And my wife said, Aris, can you go for a walk? Because I get crazy with the piano when I'm doing. She said, okay. And I was looking at internet, especially work 65 plus, pension people. And so I saw a tanker. I said, tanker? What is that? What's that, tanker? And I called this lady. I said, what is the meaning of the tanker? Well, we have these little cars. They bring the grocery and all the shoppings to the people at home. And so I have to go there to the gas station. They call me now the singing gas station attendant. and I really do sing when they come to me. I open the gas tank. I say, "Okay, guys, how are you today?" And I started singing just any song. And they came from TV also. They came from some magazines, and they photographed me. And it was nice. They interviewed me.
Oh, fantastic!
That is one of the things I still do. It's only 2 hours, 2.5 hours working, not more. And 2-3 days sometimes. It's nothing, but it's a good thing. You are outside, you meet new people,
sure.
A new branch, a new sort of business, which I never knew. Okay. Anyway, I started on Facebook where I write every day. I write a column every day, my story on Facebook.
Right.
And so I started with old Green Berets. I went there. And I took something to eat, cookies, cake. I took some cakes, 4 pieces. And I went there just to be there.
Right.
Just to talk to these people and just to be a hearing ear.
Right.
Let the people talk. And I noticed that these people, they are so glad. They are, because there is someone in their house on a 1.5 meter distance, of course.
Right.
And so I started on Facebook, and I called this visitings. I called it social coffee, SOCO on English.
Okay,
coffee,
SOCO.
Social coffee.
All right.
And I put it on a new page on Facebook, on my page, a special group.
Right.
And you know what happened? There are other people. They say, Aris, they call me Aris because Aristakes is too long. Aris, I saw this old woman with a so slowly going in my street, and I thought by myself, wow, that's a good idea from Aristakes. I went to the supermarket. I bought some cake, and next morning I went to this my neighbor a few houses further up, and I went there for a coffee. So what is happening now? All the people on their own way, in their own surroundings, in their own family or on the streets, they started their own social coffee. How beautiful is this, man?
That's fantastic. That's fantastic.
Yeah. And there was on the weekly markets we have these bakeries from Spakenburg. There's a little village here in the neighborhood, and they have natte cake, het stoepje, bakkerij, het stoepje. They are still there every week on the weekly markets. And one of these guys, I know him. They make in this city, in this village. The village is called Spakenburg.
I know Spakenburg.
Yeah, a few kilometers from here. Yeah, and they have a special cake. It's very flat. And they call Spakenburg's Heart. Spakenburg's Heart. And I asked this guy, what does it cost me if I buy 4 pieces in a small a package for me? I buy 10 of these packages, 4 pieces each. Tell me how much it costs. The gas station where I'm working, this shop manager, I told this story. And I didn't have an answer yet from this baker. And he said, Aris, I tell you something. My wife is already working 15 years with this baker. You asked for this Spakenburg's Heart. I said, wait a minute. We arranged it. 1 hour later, I get a WhatsApp. Steven, he said, Aris, as long as you live, and as long as you do the social coffee, you get this Spakenburg's Heart for free.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Wow, man. Well, I didn't ask for free. I said, I want to pay. No, it's a so nice idea, so warm, and so from your heart, that I give it to you. Whatever you want, how much you want, how many you want.
So
it's
a
nice story,
yeah? Beautiful. Yeah. They sponsor you now.
This is positive. This is in your podcast. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's beautiful, man. Yeah. I know, like you say, you're a young 68, but you're still very active. And I remember back in the day when we used to play together, you always had this warm energy. It was always fun to work together. And over the years, we've always kept in good contact with each other. And that's a beautiful thing. Well, and it's great to see that you're busy with some projects. There's another project that you were telling me about when we last spoke with each other that you were busy with, and you did a music leader for that particular show.
Yeah. I wrote a rock opera. I started writing it 2 years ago already. And I was searching and I was looking and I did my best to get in contact with conductors from big orchestras,
right?
80 people, 100 people, because I wrote these songs. It's about love. It's about peace. It's about all these wars what we had in the mankind all the years ago. And I thought by myself, did we learn something from all these wars already, from all these conflicts all over the world? No, my brother. So my question is why? And that I translated in the rock opera, and I called it Rhapsody for Peace. Well, for a sudden, I met this percussionist, your colleague from Metropole Orchestra, Eddie Koopman.
Mm-hmm.
You know him, Eddie Koopman.
It's a nice guy, real nice guy, yeah.
Yeah. I said, Eddie, I have something I want to let you listen. He said, okay, you're welcome. So I played the rock opera. He said, wow, man, Maurice Lutterhuis has to hear this. I said, okay, but it's hard to get this, to get in contact. I said, wait a minute, I know him. I arranged it, we did. We arranged a meeting with Maurice Lutterhuis, the conductor, Eddie Koopman at his house.
Right.
A friend of mine, a piano player as well. He can write the notes, and I cannot write. I can play. So I go to his studio. Mm-hmm. He has in his laptop, he has a system. all the instruments in the whole orchestra, the violins, the trompetes, anything. I said, Aris, what do you want here? I said, oh, that must be trombone, something like that, trumpet or saxophone or whatever. And so I play it on piano, and all the notes come there. Well, so I played the rock opera again in front of this conductor, and I was a bit nervous. I'll tell you honestly, I was a bit nervous because this man is, he has met so many musicians, colleagues, and I played it, and he said the same you said, just.
Yeah.
He said, your passion, how you play, it's from your inside, it's from your soul. I said, we have to do this. We have to do this because it will be a waste when we let it do nothing with it. So I started a crowdfunding to get all this money together, to collect the money, because we are going to record it in the Metropole Orchestra studio in Hilversum in the Netherlands. And we will be there with 45 musicians 2 days after each other. And then also we film it. We will record it with filming, because then we have a video. And then we have a promotion tool to go everywhere in the world, to the theaters, to the whatever, to radio and TV stations. So now we are about 70% that we have to reach for the recording. Yeah. It's a nice story, isn't it?
Fantastic, man. I've got one more question for you. We can talk for hours. We've always had that.
Yeah.
I got one more question, and which is our theme for this particular show, and it's called compassion, of course.
Yeah.
So what does compassion mean to you?
Yeah. Compassion to me means help people. Be there for people who need it. People who are lonely, people who lost someone. And I tell you something, I never thought about money. You just mentioned it. I lived in Burj Al Arab, the 7 stars hotel in Burj Al Arab in Dubai. Every second, every minute, every veil in this people's body, think, dream, eat, and sleep, money, money, money. And I had a contract for 1 year. After 3 months, I quit. I couldn't stand. I was as unhappy as possible. It's not my way of life. My way of life is to help you, to help Eddie, to help my neighbor, to help everyone. Because I grew up in a big family with 7 children, and that's what I learned from my parents. To give is wisdom, and I want wisdom not in my wallet. I want wisdom here in my soul, in my heart. That's my compassion, friend.
That's great. It's beautiful. I want to thank you so much for coming on the show, having your chat with me, and telling our public about your wonderful life that you've had behind you. And you're still going strong as well, buddy. I mean, as long as I've known you, you've always been busy with the new projects. And I admire that about you. You're a very compassionate person, which is why I wanted to have you on the episode.
It was my pleasure also, Eddie. And we have to meet as soon as possible, man. I know it's a different time at the moment, but we will find a time to have a drink together and to make music together.
And one of those special cakes.
Okay.
That's it. All right, buddy. Thank you so much for coming on. A lot of love to you, man. And we will see each other soon.
You're welcome.
All right.
Okay, man.
Bye-bye.
My pleasure. Bye-bye.
This is My Positive Podcast with Eddie C.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, my second guest for today, she's a lovely young lady that I recently met via a friend of mine and found out that she was into being a real YouTuber. And she has her own channel where she's talking about a healthy lifestyle. She's had some experience in hotel management, and she's originally from the lovely island of Sint Maarten, which is still on my bucket list to go visit. Please welcome my second guest, Miss Nephtalie Joseph.
Thank you, Eddie, for having me.
Okay, great to have you on the show. It's nice to see you always have this cheerful smile whenever we've spoken with each other, you know.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit more about your background. So you came from Sint Maarten and now you're living in the Netherlands, right?
Right, right.
So how did that all come about?
Yes. Thank you so much for having me here on the podcast today. And yes, as you said, I recently moved from Sint Maarten 7 years ago, but I actually was born in the beautiful island again from Haiti. So basically, I lived there in Sint Maarten from the age of 8 years old. And then I moved recently to the Netherlands to further my studies.
Okay.
So that is how I'm here. And currently, I did my first study here in the Netherlands. I was studying international hotel management for 4 years. I've done that already. And right now, I'm studying at the University of Rotterdam, focusing on international business and languages. I'm in my third year, doing an internship at the moment, almost done as well. And looking forward for the next year, because next year will be my final year where I have to write my thesis. So pretty exciting.
Oh, fantastic.
Yes.
That's lovely. So tell us a little bit about your YouTube channel that you have and the things that you're doing with that, because I've checked out a couple of things. Quite interesting.
Thank you.
How did that come about?
Basically, the YouTube channel was like nothing planned. It's just, I don't know, it just came up as an idea. Basically, 2 years ago, after my first internship for my previous studies, I went to Canada for a 6-month internship, and while I was working there, it was very different because I had to do night shift. So with your body, what you used to do in the day, and then you have to do it in the night, a whole system changed. So I would definitely say it's because of that, the way I ate. The way I did everything changed my whole system. And when I came back, I actually got diagnosed with high blood pressure.
I can relate to that.
Yes. So when we find out, and the doctor was very surprised for such a young age to have that, because it's usually older people who have this kind of symptoms. But yes, we did several tests. I carried several machines to find out exactly why, and I have it. So we just had to deal with it. So what I decided to do is do some research on what to eat, what can I not eat, what type of exercise I can do to help myself with this, because my sister, she's a nurse, and she told me, like, naturally you can solve this. You don't really have to take the pill, because now I have to take a pill every day for it. And naturally you can try to get rid of this. So this is where my research starts. So I start to look all different kind of things that I can do. And then I found out some amazing things. First of all, no meat. Like a lot of people who had these kind of symptoms and other things, like other diseases as well, the moment that they cut out meat, dairy products, and some other things, it really helped them. And there's even 2 or 3 people who testify about this. It was one of these documentaries on Netflix I saw as well, where people were testifying about how they actually stopped taking the pill. So I was really surprised to hear about this, because I know that they always told us from a young age that we need to get our protein from meat, we need to get this from it, we need to get that from meat. And now to find out that is actually something that's killing us physically every day, little by little.
Absolutely. Plus, there's a lot of processed foods out there that, I think maybe about 70% of the foods we buy at the supermarkets are processed foods.
Exactly.
A lot of the foods have, let's say, animal-based stuff in it. And I know that basically going vegan, which is something that I, for a large part of my life, have started to do. As I got older, I just started cutting the meat out of my diet till I almost practically didn't eat any at all anymore.
Right.
And so for me, it's been a major difference, because like I said, I've also had high blood pressure. The last time I went to my doctor, he said, I look better now than I did 5 years ago. So I definitely took that as a compliment. So,
right.
Yeah. And, I just turned 65. So I can see the difference on how I was now and on pictures I see of myself from 5-6 years ago. So it makes a big difference, a healthy lifestyle. Absolutely.
Yes, yes. So with these information that I found, I thought, okay, I really want to share it. So where do I share this information? Would I have to be posting on Facebook every day?
Right.
And then I thought, hey, maybe I can talk about it. I can put it on a video and I can upload it. Again, I thought maybe I put it on Instagram. But then I don't know. Then I said, oh, I have a YouTube, I have a Gmail account. I can put it on YouTube and I could create a channel about it. And this is how my YouTube channel starts. Just me wanted to share my information that I found pertaining this kind of a disease. And I said, maybe other people out there who don't know were also confused because, we were raised from small, the experience from small that, you should have meat on your plate. If you have a meal, if there's no meat, it's not a meal.
Yeah, right.
So I said, yes, I have to explain it. I have to talk about it. And that's how my channel started. So my first video was so bad because I didn't learn about, camera setting or anything like that because I didn't go to school for that. I'm not in the media school. I'm in the business school. So
right. Yeah.
I talk about 5 benefits of eating less meat. So because I thought I will start like this because it's very difficult to change, completely from eating meat. Yeah,
go cold turkey.
That also.
Right.
I'm still in the process. It's been 2 years now. I'm in the process of eating less meat. So right now I do it more. Before I used to do like 2 days no meat or 3 days, but right now I do the week no meat and the weekend maybe some chicken fillet or something like that. So these are the things that I share on my YouTube channel. I also share other information like learning things like with pictures, and I explain what it can do to your body. I explain the importance of drinking water. Basically, when you have this kind of sickness, you have to just change your lifestyle completely. You cannot just say, okay, today I'm going to do this and tomorrow I'll do it. No, it needs to be a change. And if you're going to do a change, you got to do it step by step.
I can vouch for that.
So exercise is also involved. This year, I actually started a challenge. It was a February challenge. Exercise every day. I also have some videos about that as well. So on my channel, you can find exercise videos, healthy tips, how to live healthy, and also healthy recipes. Sometimes when I have time, I do show some recipes that I prepare at home. But because I'm so busy with school and work, I doesn't really have enough time to film everything that I eat. But I do take pictures of them, and I also have an Instagram page where I share most of my meals there. So this is how my YouTube channel started, actually. This is how it started, yeah.
Oh, wow. And your work that you're doing now, is it via the hotel school or is it related to your study that you're doing now? Because of course, your study is business management, but the job you're doing now at the moment.
No, basically, the job that I'm doing at the moment has connection to do with my YouTube channel. It has nothing to do with my previous school or the one I'm doing now. Because originally for my internship, I was supposed to go to a French-speaking country because I speak French, and one of my languages that's are taught in school are French. But because of the whole pandemic of last year, they shift and change everything around. They told us to just find something here in the Netherlands to work and do our internship at. So we just like the choices was much more open. So yes, I started applying for I was actually looking for research internship and marketing and communication internships. And then, yes, I got a call from EMG, and yes, I'm basically helping the company create videos, post.
What is EMG?
EMG is a communication company that help other companies, especially in the industry of oil and plastic industries. They help those companies create post videos.
Oh, that's interesting.
Newsletters, like anything you can think of for social media. They actually help them with that, because most of these big companies, they usually never focus on online thing, but because everything is changing, so they're too trying to keep up with the new thing that's going on, the new trend. So they also need help with that. So EMG actually is a really great company that provide these service to other companies. So they work with companies, yes. So basically I'm there, I help the content team create and provide things for for the other clients.
Let me ask you another question relative to the company you're working for. Are they actually busy for the environment as well? Because you said oil and plastic. And I think for a lot of my listeners, is that here's this young lady who's busy with a healthy lifestyle, and now she's working with a company that's working with oil and plastic.
Yes, most of those companies, they are trying to make it more, because plastic is like when it gets into the ocean, like they always show, it stays. So they try to make the plastic more friendly, more in a way that it can dissolve.
Biodegradable.
Yeah, plastic is everywhere. And, no matter how much we try to prevent it, to make the planet green again, it's always going to be there because plastic is in so much things that you never think about, like your headphones, like so many things plastics is involved in. There's no way we can really delete it from the world. So most of the companies EMG works for actually have their goals is to try to find out how to minimize it, how to make it more dissolve, biodegradable, in other words. Yeah, for the planet. They think about the planet as well. So yes.
That's very important. That's very important.
Yes, it is.
I've got one last question, which is our theme for today, it's about compassion. So what does compassion mean to you?
When I think about compassion, I think about helping someone, like, for example, who going through in a difficult time, and, you have to try to understand them in a way, because there's certain people who struggle with something, and you need to have the compassion for the person to see what they're going through. Maybe you can put yourself in their shoes and to know how they feel as well, so that you can help them. You have to try to understand how you can help that person, and that is how being compassionate to someone, I believe.
Already.
Yeah.
Well, is there a website where people can reach you and follow you other than your YouTube channel? Does it have a special name or the?
Yes. My YouTube channel name is Healthy Tally. So Healthy Tally is separate. And the channel has been doing really well. And I also link it with my Instagram. So on our page, on the home page, you can also find the icon for Instagram and Facebook. So I'm there as well. And you can reach out to me there. In my description also, I've also have my email. If you'd like to contact me, you can contact me there as well.
I'll post your information on my webpage as well, so people can reach you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story. And I wish you a lot of luck with your last year of your study, and keep making those beautiful, positive videos about a healthy lifestyle, so that all those people out there with high blood pressure can get it down.
Thank you so much. Yes, that is my wish, that others also can understand it, and to be able to, maybe if they can cut a few meat from their life, dairy product as well. And, the information can get to everybody, and they can also, live a healthier life.
I've learned that a plant-based life has been, for me, a game changer, especially in the last 5 or 6 years when I've really focused on it. And then you don't need to have all the medicines, the pills, and, sometimes a supplement is needed, when there's not enough sun or weather's not right to get out there to get that extra vitamin D. But basically, I definitely 100% agree with you. A healthy lifestyle is the way to go, and to extend your life, and be around for a longer time.
Exactly. Yes.
Well, thank you again. Keep that positivity going with that YouTube channel. And I'm sure we'll run into each other again soon.
Yes. And thank you so much for having me, Eddie.
All right. I appreciate it very much. Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
This is My Positive Podcast with Eddie C.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, my final guest is a young brother that I met him, I think it must have been about 15 or 20 years ago for the first time. And when he was a student in school, actually. And at the time, I was doing a program for schools with workshops. And it was a piece of music that I decided I wanted to have a rapper on. And because this young guy got on stage and he did his little rap thing. And I said, wow, just blew me away. He had this little like Will Smith thing going.
Will Smith.
And so I decided to have him come on to one of my projects that I was doing, and he knocked it out of the park. It was a little rap about basketball.
Loop-de-loop.
Yeah, loop-de-loop. That's it. So now he calls himself the Unstoppable Knight. That's his artist name. So please welcome my final guest, Mr. Sven Armstrong.
Hey, how you doing, Eddie?
How you doing, bro?
All is good. All is good. Long time no see. Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's been quite a while.
Happy to be on your show too, man.
Well, I'm very proud to have you on here, man. You know, we go way back, and
yep.
I still remember the loop-de-loop days.
the loop-de-loop, through the hoop.
Yeah.
That was in Alkmaar, wasn't it?
It was in Amersfoort.
Amersfoort.
In my home studio in Amersfoort, we did that recording. That's exactly.
Yeah.
Well, listen, buddy, I'm going to get right into the questions with you. You know, tell us a little bit about your roots and how did you become a rapper, a hip hopper? I mean, that was quite amazing because when they hear your voice and they see you, they're trying to put the combination together, you know.
Yeah, well, that it is what it is, huh? Well, my roots, I'll tell you, my mom was from Amsterdam, so she's Dutch. She was Dutch. She was still alive. My father's from England.
All right. So,
you know, I'm a mix. That's why I got the name Armstrong as well.
Okay. All right.
You know? And so about the rap and how did I get into the hip hop? I remember being a big fan of Marky Mark's. You know, you remember Marky Mark? Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch.
Which is Mark Wahlberg. That's right.
Yeah, exactly. He's an actor now. Well, for many years already. So.
Right. Exactly.
And I believe his brother was Donnie B from the New Kids on the Block.
So that's where you got started.
Well, I didn't get started, but I was listening to hip hop then, you know, and I was even at his fan club in his Boston fan. He came from Boston, so I was at the fan club, and I was very young, man. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I was at 10, maybe 10, something like that. So a little bit later on, my parents gave me a karaoke machine.
Okay.
And since I've always liked hip hop, I started recording little raps on the cassette deck. You know, you could record. You had 2 cassette decks, and I recorded on it. Yep. So I think that's how it really started. I just got the feeling from it. And when I was around 15, there was like a big stage in the city of Roosendaal.
Right. I remember.
And I asked them if I could come on stage, you know, as I always do, used to do, still do. Well, and so because if you did, you could record, you got a free studio session in the studio in Alkmaar. That's Alkmaar.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, they didn't invite me on stage. So I was a little bit sad, and I asked them, "Hey, man, I really wanted to record a song. You know what? Here you go, son." And they gave me an invitation to the studio. And me and my friend Flojo, we went to Alkmaar to record the first single. And then I really got into it, if you know what I mean. So we did some live shows on Veronica Cole TV.
Okay.
I bet you remember that time.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when I was 15, 16. I was on TV, and I walked in Amsterdam, and people recognized me. I was in Spain and Salah, where there was a lot of Dutch people. They recognized me. So, started liking it a little bit more. And then at some point, I met Miko Weaver. You know Miko, the former guitar player of Prince. I met him in Roosendaal at the coffee shop. And his son was there too. So, we got connected straight away, and it felt like family. And
okay.
I went to their house every night to record at the studio. They had a little house studio.
Mm-hmm.
And we did gigs every weekend in Rotterdam.
Right.
So that was some more food for the soul, And then they moved to Ibiza in 2002. Yeah, so I just lost my family. I didn't lose them, but they moved.
Distance came in between, right?
Exactly. So I had to, adjust my way of life. Okay, I went to visit them for a couple of weeks in Ibiza. I really liked it there.
That beautiful island.
You know what?
Great island.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So we got a story about that too.
Yeah, we played in Ibiza together as well at that time.
Yeah, right. We did. I'm coming there. So that in 2015, I decided to move to Ibiza myself because I've been saving some money. And then because they were playing in Teatro Pereira in Ibiza town.
That's right.
And
I know all about it.
Yeah. So that was my everyday spot. And then in 2016, I believe you came to Ibiza. You were the main show in Teatro Pereira.
Exactly.
And as I was coming inside every night, and basically every person that was playing there, I just had to get on stage with them. And so I did with you as well. And, fun times with you there, man. And we stayed in contact ever since, and of course, at some point, I had to go back to the Netherlands because I really wanted to work on some albums. I think in 2007, I went back to record an album, but basically that took so long because of some circumstances. My first album came out in 2015.
Mm-hmm. All right. Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Nothing wrong with
it. Oh, no. It doesn't mean I couldn't have recorded some more albums. It just didn't happen. So anyway, up until now, I released 3 albums, and that's just a short,
Yeah, but how did you come on the name Unstoppable Knight?
Well, since my last name is Armstrong, we used to be knights, border reavers at the border between the south of Scotland and the north of England. There was this area where the Armstrongs would live in. They were basically some horrible people, some murderers. But we were the biggest ones, So I had I took my name Knight from that, and then Unstoppable just came along, and because Unstoppable Knight short is UK, United Kingdom. That's how I got my name.
Okay,
yep.
I know you from from the personal side, sitting and talking with each other and chilling in Ibiza. Mm-hmm. Outside of that, is there a different persona that you have when you're being, let's say, Unstoppable Knight, the rapper?
Yep.
And now you're singing as well, so you've added that to your the thing, and you're doing quite well at that as well, may I say?
Well, thank you, man, thank you. Let's say Unstoppable Knight is the entertainer in Sven Armstrong. See, Sven Armstrong is me, but Unstoppable Knight is me as well. But the entertainer, the singer, the rapper. Mm-hmm. So it's just a part of me, a very big part of me.
I know one of the discussions we had back in the day when we were in Ibiza, I used to always like the way you did your raps because you kept it kind of profanity friendly for people, but still got your messages across. And one of the things I respect about you very much about how you approach your whole way of doing hip hop and rap. It's not about naked babes or this or ditching people here and there. It's you bring messages across like the collaboration we did with Rich and Famous, which great track, man. Not because I'm on it, but I mean it's just a great track. The album. It's a good album, man.
Yeah, it's just. No, it is because we both on it. That's what makes it a good song. See, Rich and Famous is just a fantasy song, So just imagine if I'm rich and famous, I'll be chilling VIP front seat at the Lakers, something like that.
It's great, and your inspiration that you get from your lyrical content, is that just based on your experiences that you have on a day-by-day basis?
Exactly. Although not all the songs, you have some songs I just put myself as somebody else,
Put yourself in character, right?
Exactly. But most of my songs are things that I've been through or I see or I think could be better. I try to give advice as well, The sad thing is not everybody speaks English, so they can never understand, because I do have a lot of fans in Brazil and they don't all speak English, so they just like the flow or
the rhythmic flow. That's important.
Yeah,
it's all about
if you feel that, that's cool. You know,
That's it. That's it. I mean, I love Brazilian music. I don't understand
me too.
hardly anything they're saying, but I just love the atmosphere, the beat, and
bossa nova.
You know, yeah, man.
Samba, amazing.
Absolutely, absolutely.
That's my favorite music.
Yeah. You don't need to have to understand the words if you feel the music, that
exactly.
That's what it is. That's what it's all about.
That's why it's for that's why it's for everyone.
Absolutely. Absolutely, buddy. Well, listen, I'm going to give you a question, which is our theme question for this particular show. And of course, it's all about compassion today.
Okay.
What does compassion mean to you?
Okay. Yeah. Wow. What does compassion? Being able to feel someone's pain and suffering, and maybe you could help someone with it. Being able to place yourself in somebody's situation. Just being able to do that and see, you don't necessarily have to help someone, but as long as you know.
Well, I mean, that's what it means for you, so that's important.
Exactly. That's what it is for me.
Well, personally, compassion is like what you said, putting yourself in another person's position and being able to feel yourself in that situation or imagine yourself in that situation, which makes it understandable for you, I think you kind of like try to do that with your rap. You try to reach out to people. I like the way you write your lyrical content, and you bring it in a way that the younger generation is able to convey that. And that's necessary, man. You're actually, the name is actually pretty good. I like the name Unstoppable Night, man, because you're out there doing the knighthood, reaching people. That's important.
Yeah. I hope they'll listen to it because the word has not been spread. You know what I mean? It's out there, but people ain't listening. And that has some other reasons, of course. Yeah.
Right. Well, of course, you have the whole COVID situation put a big hurting on all of us.
For the shows.
Yeah for performing. Absolutely. But that, it doesn't stop us from, like you say, doing some damage from our home and in a good way, positive damage, of course.
Always.
Yeah. And that's what it's all about. Is there anything you'd like to say to, let's say, your generation, young folks out there that are, want to be compassionate? You got any, let's say, wise words you want to give to those young folks out there?
Maybe just stop pointing fingers at each other, respect each other. Whatever you believe in, if you have a different opinion, learn to respect that. Don't judge because somebody thinks differently, If I say A, you say B, let it be.
They're all letters of the alphabet.
Hey, let it be. One's opinion doesn't have to be your opinion. One's truth doesn't have to be your truth, which doesn't make your truth the truth. I don't know. You feel me?
I feel where you're coming from, bro.
Yeah.
I want to thank you so much for coming on the show, man. It's
my pleasure,
always,
man.
Whether it's Ibiza or wherever we run into each other, it's always fun to see and talk with you, brother.
Good vibes always.
Absolutely.
Eddie.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Man.
Thank you for having me on once again. And, we stay in contact. Matter of fact, I'll send you an email tomorrow with the new song for my singing album.
All right. And
the featuring.
Is there a website or where people can reach you or link?
Okay. Well, I don't have the website anymore, but I use Instagram, basically Instagram. You can reach me on Facebook as well, Unstoppable Night, but usually on Instagram. That's my main place. Yeah.
All right. That's your main place. All right, buddy. Keep on bringing your music the way you do it, brother. It's well appreciated. And people check out Unstoppable Night. Now you can find them on Spotify. You can find them on Instagram, YouTube. Check them out. It's worth listening to. All right, brother.
Will do. Thank you, man. Right on. All right, my brother. You take care, man.
You take care, too. Thank you, bro.
All right, you too, man. See you later, man.
This is MPP, and I'm Eddie C.
All right. Well, I enjoyed all three of my guests. I want to wish them all a lot of success in their ventures and what they do, and that they keep spreading a lot of compassion and positive energy to the ones they come in contact with. Speaking of which, I think compassion is something that we really need to think a little bit more about and give a little bit more compassion to each other. We've gone through a difficult time with the whole COVID situation, and hopefully people will start to think and get away just from out the cell phone and look at each other and just be able to say hello. So on those thoughts, here's my quote.
Compassion. Understanding and feelings for others in pain or despair. Being able to be an ear, to just sit and listen. Not judging and having an open mind. Placing yourself in another one's position. Showing a positive priority to compassion. Creating meaningful relationships.
Well, that's just about it for this week, ladies and gentlemen. But before I go, I'd like to thank my three guests, Aristakes Jessayan, Nephtalie Joseph, and Sven Armstrong, for being part of my show and sharing their wonderful stories. Remember, positivity and compassion go hand in hand. You can find me on all platforms like Spotify, Android, and Apple. On Facebook, look for My Positive Podcast. And my website is mypositivepodcast.com. You can also contact me via my website or Facebook. A very special thanks to my technical producer, Iswan. This show is a production by Antwerp Podcast Service. My name is Eddie C., and this was MPP, My Positive Podcast. Tune in next week and stay positive.